Podcasts.
Well, let's just keep it light and breezy today, Daniel.
Light and breezy.
Light and breezy.
What does that mean?
Easy peasy.
Lemon breezy?
Chalk and sleazy. Anecdotes up to my heezy.
A lemon for breezy?
Parcheesy.
No, that doesn't work at all.
Lingueasy.
Yeah, it's like linguine. Well, it kind of does. Kind of.
Sneezy.
Sleazy?
Treesy.
Yeah, that's I'm not accepting that one.
Easy.
Even though I said for breezy.
And lingueasy. That's on you.
No, linguine. I chose linguine.
You were about to say lingueasy.
No, I wasn't sure if linguine would work.
So, topics for today. Let's talk about our fan base. Have you been?
That should be a quick one.
Have you been promoting us, Daniel?
Very little, Shay.
I know. You haven't even listened to the podcasts in their entirety.
I haven't.
We have
And I'm sorry?
polar opposites here, a shameless self-promoter and a shameless non-promoter.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel, aren't you in a podcast? Yeah.
Is that it?
You want to, what's it about? Hey, it's a podcast. We talk about stuff.
You know what, Shay? I'd bring it up if more people asked, but nobody ever asks.
That's not how promoting works. You don't see people putting up billboards after people have said, oh, enough people have asked about this. Maybe we should advertise it.
No, I'm not gay.
Oh, man. So
Sorry.
is this McDonald's? Oh, yeah. What's the fucking...
We should put up a sign.
What's our fucking logo? Can't remember the McDonald's slogan now.
Is it good? We'll be right back.
Ask about us.
I don't know. Something about smiles.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. There we go. See, my brain didn't need to remember that.
No, I was thinking smiles too, though.
That's just lays now.
Why? Why smiling faces?
People are asking that all around.
There's a Mitch Hedberg joke that I absolutely love. He's like, man, I love when you go to casinos. They always have those billboards for casinos where people are winning the jackpot. But that's false advertising. That's like if you went to a McDonald's and they had a poster of a guy choking on a burger. And they were like, this is what happened once.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
It's like the law says we have to have some winners. Can't just come in here. Which, funny enough, Rao seemed like he was doing really good.
At roulette?
Yeah.
Did he make some money?
I think he lost very little, but he was playing for a long time.
I know Ski was playing too hastily at blackjack.
Yeah, you gotta sit there and count cards for a bit.
Yeah. No, Ski. I was watching Ski, and I was pretty drunk. So, when you get to that point of drunk, things seem to go a lot quicker. And I was like, all right, I'll go stand with Ski for a few minutes. And he's getting up to leave. I'm just like, you're done already? Didn't you just put down, didn't you come over here with $100? He was just like, hit me. I'm out of money. All right, moving on.
Right? Nah, he seemed like he was doing all right. Some bag cuts, and the gentleman at the end of the table was giving some tips.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
I didn't, like I said, I was pretty cut at that point.
I think it was one of the best pieces of advice. Oh, God, what was it? I think the rule is if it's unnatural, an unnatural 16, then he has to hit. And so I'm not even going to pretend I know.
What's an unnatural?
It just means that there's no 10s.
Oh.
And so basically it forces him to hit with more cards and just increases the chances of him
going over.
Yep, busting. Which was an interesting observation, which I'm sure you could get in almost any blackjack book.
Yeah. Yeah, see, the most I've learned from card games, I learned Texas Hold'em from my dad. But other than that, any other gambling card game, I've learned from video games.
Yeah, you learned crib. Crib's the hardest gambling game ever.
I've never learned crib.
No?
No.
Well,
You guys were playing that at...
Yeah, did you learn? Did you watch?
I was playing Ultimate Jenga with ketchup bottles.
That was normal Jenga. Normal Jenga with a ketchup bottle.
It was ultimate. Did you see how we were stacking the top pieces?
Yes.
Just crisscross. It was so unstable. Anytime you got above the ketchup bottle, you just touch it and the whole fucking thing was just like, whoa.
What am I gonna do? Pay attention to me.
I'm pretty sure I still have the videos of that.
Did you tweet it with their name?
I did not.
Bet you they're real miffed.
Yeah, when she came over at the end, oh yeah, if you're going to post that to social media, and I'm just like, they're going to tell us some BS about something. Just tag us in it. Yeah, why would I not? This is where I was. Not like I'm going to be like, oh yeah, we were just in
McDonald's.
some random restaurant playing Jenga where they provide you with Jenga at your table. No, fucking go to this place if you want to play fucking board games while you eat.
No, this was BP's. We bring our own games.
What was it called? Mr. Mike?
I have no idea.
Magic Mike?
I know where it's located.
XXL?
That's about it. The poutine place?
It was... I think it was Mr. Mike.
Could have been.
Kind of felt bad for Taylor that he couldn't make it the night before. It's kind of a bummer that he had to drive in just for those few hours at the mall.
Well, that's what he was talking about with work.
Yeah. Busy.
Speaking of new jobs.
Yeah?
Should we even?
Did you get a new job, Daniel?
No, I didn't. I did not. Oddly enough, let's check the other half. Hey Shay, did you get a new job?
So our fan base. Yeah, I got a new job. Welcome to the Choice by Choice podcast. I should have said that 5 minutes ago.
It was probably more than 5 minutes.
I'm at the _ Mr. Wolf. No period. This is Dan 442-80594. Tweet at him. He's going to be going to India here in 2 weeks.
I will.
And this is the Choice by Choice podcast. Daniel.
We were talking about your job.
And your replacement.
And my replacement.
I got to call Chance tonight.
Good.
Name drop Chance.
Signing bonus. The chair's warm.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. Got a new job. We'll start there, I guess.
There
I
you go.
guess we've already started, but
It's been a while.
we'll continue there.
As he takes a deep drink from his coffee, pausing
That was
to think about what he needed to say.
That was just for the video watchers, that was. Yeah, our last podcast didn't go up on SoundCloud because so many edits. If that's one of the ones you're going to watch, Daniel, I mean, that should be one of the ones that you should watch, Daniel. It's entertainment. I even wrote that in all the descriptions.
It's entertainment.
More of an
That's
entertainment piece than a podcast. It was like 30 minutes of 2 different mornings.
Yeah.
All stitched together with some wee little laughs.
Wait.
Ho ho!
Ho, 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 ho.
So yeah, after months and months of toiling, after what was realistically like 2 weeks of just putting out resumes.
I thought we were going to talk about like the years of toiling that led to this.
Oh yeah, well I could, but I don't want to be a pessimist anymore.
It's in the past.
I realized after editing our last few podcasts, I was like, I talk about how much I hate my job too much. I was like, I don't like this amount of negativity in me. I decided I have to be happier when talking into the microphone. When we're done, I'll just go back to crying myself to sleep.
Just leave the mic on. It's not far from your bed.
No, that's what worries me. Have you ever found out my password for my computer?
I just see audio files of some strange occurrences in the middle of the night. Throwing knives against the wall. I can't think of any other weird noises.
Not against the wall.
Well, against some piece of board.
I have
Maybe an ukulele.
I have a dartboard.
That's true. It's still downstairs. It never moves.
I gotta find a place to put it. The only problem with putting it up is that I gotta find something to put it on, like a board. so that when you get those people who are bad at darts, they don't fuck up my walls.
Yep. It's like the people who are bad at pool, and every single time they hit the cue ball, it's like skipping everywhere.
Well,
please don't do trick shots. Just hit the cue ball.
Yeah, just play the game. Don't fuck around.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got a new job. I'm going to work on keeping us on track here, because I know that the end of our last two, we were fucking all over the place. I was listening to that bit at the end with the bachelor party stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, this is what Taylor was talking about. It's like, oh yeah, so the bachelor party, 2 things about the bachelor party, and then off on some random tangent, and then, oh right, the bachelor party. So I got a job.
You did.
And I don't know specifically what position. I'm guaranteed one of the 3 that I applied for.
Nice.
I'm thinking it's likely going to be the good one, but I'm not going to hold my breath just in case.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't ask for that one piece of documentation that would be required by the other 2 yet. So yeah, we'll wait and see.
Here's to hoping.
Could be a nice step up. I had a nice little time.
Even a step to the side is not that bad in this instance.
No, exactly. No, I had a nice little time typing up my resignation letter the other day.
Yeah. And every click was the sweetest sound you've ever heard.
I only wished I could have done it on my keyboard downstairs.
Yeah.
Because the one at work is like...
silent?
Sounds sticky. It's been there for a few years or more.
Hey man, you gotta get your bang for your buck. Pay $40 for a keyboard.
I don't even think they paid that much.
Yeah, sure.
They're like discount office supply ordering. They're like, hey, this thing has keys on it and it plugs into a computer.
It's not the same layout as your average keyboard, but we thought that wouldn't matter.
It's in alphabetical order.
That'd be so messed up.
That'd be pretty weird. Then again, when you first sit down at a keyboard when you're younger and you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, how do I spell my name? That's pretty much all I need to know.
Somebody just decided when they were like, hey, let's make a board with all the all the letters of the alphabet on it so that we can type stuff into a computer. Let's decide how they go on there by just taking all the letters and throwing them at a fucking wall.
Not quite the way they decided to do it, but...
But when you first sit down, when you're like, I guess my first experience with computers was like when I was like 9, 10. I was just like, what? A is
Pretty
here.
much.
B is over here somewhere.
Still not sure, really.
Not by memory, no. If I'm looking at it, it's at least a little more coherent these days, but yeah, at a young age.
If you get the chance, I'm sure I've already talked about it. Switch to Dvorak.
You tell me about that.
Also, just switch your keys around so that you actually know what the layout is. But it's supposed to be quite a bit more ergonomic. Less movement. Good for coding. Good for writing.
Aerodynamic.
Yeah.
Are those the ones that are kind of like parted?
No.
Keys on each side?
The button layout's different.
It's
so
just,
all the frequently hit keys are going to be right where your fingers rest.
Yeah.
And then I think it's mostly near the inside, whichever fingers are the most dexterous and can actually move around quite easily. All those ones. Like your Z's and crap are going to be by your pinky. Z's, Q's.
Yeah. I still don't type properly. Those Mavis Beacon fucking programs back in the day.
Didn't teach you shit.
I kind of learned enough to pass like the grade 2 level typing.
And R just never grew from beyond that point.
But considering how poorly my technique is, or how poorly I use my hands while typing, I do a pretty decent job, I would say. Probably. What's average?
Words per minute?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
100 words per minute?
I would say that's above average.
Yeah.
Probably. I think the highest I've seen is around like 240 to
and that's
like
crazy.
300. That's like
perfect,
you're not making a mistake.
Perfect technique, yeah.
Yeah, it gets pretty nuts.
I'd say I'm probably not 100 words, but I can't be far off that. And that's
60 words a minute isn't terrible either.
That's with like these crazy big hand movements.
Mm-hmm. It's just when you get into those odd words that you don't use very often, you have to pause and you're like, Okay, I got it.
I don't typically pause. I just let the computer sort out all that shit after the fact. It's like, oh, underlined in red. Okay, I'll go back and right click.
So many
Nope.
spelling errors.
Those weren't the three. Those three aren't any of the words I was trying to type. So we'll go into Google.
Yeah.
No, but as a not a professional writer, I want a potential professional writer.
I think they call you an amateur.
Yeah, as an amateur writer, I do decent. If all my thoughts are coherent, then I can type up like a motherfucker. Just get on that roll. It's a problem with creative writing, though.
As soon as you said roll, I was thinking this.
Get up on that roll, dude. Oh, man. So, new job.
You were talking about typing up your resignation letter.
Right. It was satisfying to send in.
That's all. We went on like a 10-minute tangent.
Yeah, well, train of thought's been broken at this point.
Taylor, I'm sorry.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Yeah.
And we can work on fixing
We'll just
it.
have like a light or a little LED screen there, just like flashes the current topic. So it'd be like, oh, yeah, no, we're getting, so we'll just like touch our ears. Oh, someone from the booth. Yeah, they're saying we should probably keep talking about what's on the screen.
Taylor's screaming and waving his arms in the background.
Yeah,
Come on!
What's going on?
It was right there. The letter of resignation. Yeah, so typed it up, got it sent in. Pretty stereotypical. I was talking to my dad today because it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all them daddies out there and all you Papa Bears. But he was saying, or he was kind of laughing with me because I sent it in midday Friday. It's just about Monday. Still haven't heard back from any of the upper management about it. Not a phone call, not a text, not an email.
Not even an I love you.
Not a follow-up of any kind. So, yeah, it's just kind of pretty indicative of where management's at there. They're also going to have their hands full, so have fun with that, yeah, people.
There you go. Neutral terms.
Neutral terms. Don't talk shit. Don't be that ex.
Yeah. It'll just be a lot of work. It's an opportunity for an excellent learning experience.
Well, yeah, for them, kind of.
Yeah, them, not you.
They don't seem to learn from their mistakes.
Get stuck in a rut.
4 years.
Got to get out of it.
They're a big company. They just need to replace the people who are managing.
Is it
our areas?
National? Canada and the States, or what?
And UK now in the last year and a half.
That is rather large.
Big company, yeah.
Which are things in these boxes?
300 locations?
Boxes in these buildings.
Yes.
Genius. I don't know how the world continues without that kind of stuff. Actually, storage facilities hold stuff like servers. So I will cease talking shit.
Yeah, I don't know. They just need they need better people in our areas, regions, or regional management, whatever it is, general management. I don't know.
Seems like a common problem.
But yeah, they're gonna have one of Simone's favorite phrases. They're gonna have their work cut out for them.
She used that a lot.
No, it's just it sums it up.
What she says, yeah.
It's what she says. It sums it up. Because 2, 3, potentially 4 people gone here in about 3 weeks. One of them right now is on vacation until the middle of next month. Another Simone on limited availability. So yeah, they can have fun with that. I'm off to bigger, better, brighter things. Greener pastures.
The other side.
Take it on the other side, Daniel.
Don't get the reference.
Chili peppers?
No. Oh.
How long?
Yeah,
How long?
never mind. I know this one. It was popular.
It was a getter.
It was super mainstream.
I've sung it loudly in my car with peeps before.
I don't think I was there.
No, not with you. You weren't invited.
No, never with you. I hate it
Are
here.
you hearing that?
Yeah, speaking. Speaking of speaking,
Is that our neighbors?
that is our neighbors. Unless someone's on the roof speaking through our vent.
I've never heard.
Their voice through the wall before.
Yeah.
It's a very deep voice. Now we're just being weird.
I can edit this out. So, you got a new job. No. All done with that. Moving on. Now, the second point of our presentation will be directed at Dan the Manual.
Dan, the 442805994 rolls off the tongue. Still does.
If you memorized it,
I'm sure it wouldn't be hard.
no, you got a pretty good memory.
442805994. See.
Yep, they're numbers.
Yep, exactly. The secret to memorizing, well, not necessarily longer strains of numbers. Chunking.
I got to get on the phone with Chance here tonight because where are you going in 2 weeks, Daniel?
Daniel's going to India.
Going to India.
Daniel's going to one of my coworkers told me how to say the name correctly of the city, but I don't really remember.
I'm pretty sure it's just pronounced India.
It's just no, yeah, right? Coimbatore. But I just found out today that there is going to be a 2-day program with the Jackie Vasudev, the SAG guru. So we get to see him on our first day. Well, within the first week for 2 days.
And that's it. Then the rest is all his.
He'll be there for the graduation for sure.
Yeah.
And, we'll see him around the ashram because it's his hub.
Yeah.
Where he lives.
That's pretty cool.
But he traveled a lot for a guy who's like 70 years old. He is on the move.
Yeah, that guy's like your Keith Richards. Your Jimmy Page.
Is that good?
He's like your Cobra Starship. He's your rock star, Daniel.
Yeah, just dumb it down for me. I don't know who most of these guys are.
He's your
The ones that I do know, it's
He's your rock star. He's your hero.
He's my old man that's somehow completely functional and mentally okay.
I was gonna say, or I thought you were gonna say he's my old man that completes me.
Yeah. In a Catholic kind of way.
He fills you up.
Yeah, with spirit. The spirit of God.
Oh, good stuff.
I am looking forward to that.
Yeah,
slowly
that's
but
dope.
surely. Just want my visa. I just want my visa to come back and then get a bunch of items.
It's got to be pretty close here now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you send it Tuesday this last week or the week before?
13th,
What's the
which
date?
was Tuesday.
Okay, so we're just about at a week.
Yeah.
So it should be here by like Friday.
Yeah, that was the latest date of estimation.
Well, I'll keep checking the mail.
That's fine. They'll email me the information too before they send it away. Or before they send it to me, they'll email it so I can fill out all my information for
So you
the
get
guys over there.
digital copies of it all.
No, just the numbers.
Gotcha.
Whatever the identification system they use.
Okay, then you can just send it to the dudes, and then you can finalize everything.
Yeah.
To the dude.
I'm sorry, as
gurus.
soon as you said dudes, I just imagined them just like sitting in an office being like, oh my god, dude, he finally sent in his visa. I was so worried. I know, right? Dude.
Just a bunch of long-haired, long-bearded, real chill Indian guys. Just
What am I
dude.
walking into?
Dude, he finally sent it.
Dude.
I have been waiting with bated breath.
Oh man. Yeah, it's pretty good. And I've officially spoken about me leaving my job in front of more and more people. So I get to answer about 3 questions over and over again.
Have you given them your official notice yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave it to them a while ago.
Gotcha.
Then at the morning meeting, they're like, oh yeah, you should do this because you're leaving soon. Then about half the group was like, what?
Surprise!
Yeah. I'm leaving you.
Yeah, that's like the exact opposite of how I quit my job. It's just like, hey, bosses, surprise. And your bosses were just like, hey, everybody else, surprise, Daniel's leaving.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so I've gotten to talk to quite a few of them.
What would be more hilarious is if you didn't know. They were just like, so you should do this because you're leaving. And you're just like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Where am I going?
You're taking leave.
You're gone at the end of June. News to me. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, but it's been good. I have a lot of East Indian coworkers, and they're all really excited. They've put me in touch with, well, they've given me some of their numbers and told me where their families are if they need a hand, or if I need a hand while I'm over there.
Right on.
It's like, aren't other countries and ethnicities just great?
Yep. And that's a Canadian saying that.
Hey, man, Canada's perfectly fine. It's just first world problems.
You grow up in Canada and you hear a lot about how nice and how polite and apologetic Canadians are, and then you go someplace where the people are more so, and you're just like, man, Canadians are assholes.
Nah, I think Canadians are pretty awesome. It's just we're definitely stuck in our own stuff.
It depends where the demographics, of course, like it would be anywhere.
It's a cultural melting pot. Like we get people who've grown up in other countries and come directly to Canada, and that's definitely an interesting mix with people who've been here their whole lives.
And then we got second, third, fourth, fifth generations of those types of people as well. Plus us homebodies who've just been white and been here.
Yeah. Welcome to the prairies.
Yeah.
Where all the white people are, well,
we come from about
lots of white people are.
Come from about 7 generation farmers. It's all flat. It's all flat. You go farm.
I was gonna say, it's like my great grandfather he laid the pipe. he liked pipelining, and my grandfather sold pipelining accessories.
My great grandpappy, he drove them Chinese workers when they was drilling them train tracks through the mountains. That was the one generation we weren't farming.
Hard work.
Then train tracks finished on up and back to the fields and the plows and head on down the way to that's old Jefferson's lot. Nah. Good folk.
Even you just bringing that up makes me feel like this country is definitely wouldn't be anything close to what it is if it wasn't for like all the different mingling interactions or involvements of different cultures.
Integration.
As not so...
Yeah, imagine if there was like...
Canadian as the treatment should have been.
Imagine, just like North America, after like all that BS with the revolution or whatever, the American Revolution from the Brits, and just like no other races, and it was all just the whites and all the farming. Imagine, just be so hick. Everything would be so hick.
I'm not sure if it would. I don't know what it would be like. Definitely be interesting. Very different. But I mean, Native Americans were here first too, so.
Yeah, and we kind of killed a lot of them off.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe it was like our religious upbringing.
Yeah.
As soon as they said it's for king and glory or whatever, king and country, I don't know. We just latched onto that purpose a little too strongly.
Yeah, sorry, Native Americans. There's a guy with a crown on his head sitting on a big chair across the ocean, so not much we can do. We got to pull the trigger.
And we think you're wacky.
Native American culture is definitely pretty sweet.
I've not had a chance to read up on it, but I'm sure...
You had to have covered a bit of it in school growing up.
Ever so slight amount. I did not take the Native American studies.
I don't think
I did.
2
chances to. And I was a little more intrigued by English language.
Yeah, I don't think I ever took those courses in like high school, but I know that in like, I'd say probably between grade 6 and grade 9, there was a fair few classes or like it's like social history, stuff like that covered that stuff.
Yeah.
I know that there was one grade is like Shabatowski. You remember Mr. Shabatowski, right?
Shabadabadoo, bald guy.
Shabs, yeah. Loves Shabs. He was like the only real teacher there. Like all the other ones were teachers, but he was a real teacher. Um, yeah, just like grade 10 or something like that was like World War One history, and then like grade 11 was just like Native American history, and it was like, oh, okay. And then grade 12 was you finally got it to everybody's favorite World War Two history. Yeah, I remember a fair bit about it. Definitely interesting stuff. Just no waste. Take what you need and use what you need, and everything else gets used for other things that you need.
Yeah.
No want, no waste. Just pretty straightforward.
If I dare put in my 2 cents, Mrs. Struby, I liked her.
I never had her as a teacher.
Oh, you should have.
Yeah, I should have. She was.
She pretty much just wound up reading a bunch of.
She was the
stuff like Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet.
The singer. She was arts interested, right?
Yeah, she actually had a really good voice
in
too.
In her spare time, I know I sang with her because I was in all the drama and stuff. So she was involved with Miss C a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I just liked Shabs. Like he prepped you for like university teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was just like, it's like, all right, you waste your time. That's on you. I'm here to teach a fucking class.
That'd be kind of cool, actually, if, I guess, maybe some between university-like environment versus high school environment. Just like the kids don't want to be there. Admittedly, there's like policies to show, hey, your kid wasn't here, or they need to be here, they need to be in class. Instead, just be like, hey, if you want to come, come. If you don't. If you're a genius and you love studying by yourself, like, that's cool. That's the whole point of this class, is to ensure that we've communicated this knowledge or these points to you, and that you can show that you've understood them.
If you're passing the exams, then maybe you don't need to be in the classroom. But if you're just getting zeros all the time, maybe you should come to the classroom.
Well, still not as bad in the case of even like university. If you don't show up to the classes, but you just go talk to the professor or the teacher and just say like, hey, this is really interesting. What'd you think of this?
Yeah.
Or just kind of let that passion stir up in you and go to someone who's obviously very interested in the subject.
Yeah.
Splurge about it.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, I was not prepared for university in any way, shape, or form. I couldn't be relied upon to be responsible enough to be at my classes half the time. The other half of the time, it was kind of like I was just finally enjoying some freedom in my life, like being in a different city.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of lost at the same time, too. I was a lost, free, wandering, wild sort of university heart. There's a song for you.
She's so free.
Yeah,
prancing on the lawn.
I know we've talked about that before, where it was just like, yeah, all my buddies up, and we're just like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going off to university. Bye. And so it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm a little lost, and I was like, oh, I got to move out of my hometown. I've always wanted to get out of my hometown, go to Edmonton or a bigger city, and get there. And then it was like, oh, that's for school, but I'm not really into the school thing. Yeah, there's a lot of layers. I just didn't. Yeah, it didn't suit me at that age, at that time, in that mindset. Now, like looking back, I'd know exactly, like just what you said, I'd know exactly what I would want to do if I was going back to school, which I'm sure I will at some point. I'm sure that there's going to be something that'll pique my interest, if it's something even like artistic or whatever, but like going to talk to the professors or the people with that knowledge and just being like, talk my ear off about it, or let me ask questions about it because I'm interested.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like there's a lot more opportunity there for you than any high school setting. You just have to know how to take advantage of it if you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I spent like a half hour to an hour talking to a professor about how brilliant metaphors are.
Metaphors are sweet.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely insane. Just the actual, I don't know if it's like magic you could say, but the fact that you could translate information by saying it's like this, and then you understand like, oh, the way that these two things interact is similar to the way that these two things interact.
Yeah.
There's not too many variations on that thing, and you just need to choose something that hits close to home or something that they're familiar with.
Well, that's how I got into a lot of what you were originally talking about when you first moved in, right? We'd be having our kitchen talks, and you'd be explaining something to me, and I'd be like, oh, it's like this to this. And you'd be like, yay or nay. And I'd be like, sweet, I get it.
They'd be like, what do you mean?
I just translated a half an hour of you talking into a simple 1 second sentence.
Pretty much.
Yep. It is magical. Yep. How you can translate things
It
into
is
just
pretty cool.
simple process to be accepted by your brain.
It is kind of nice.
So
If I dare, one moment, you were talking about your transition from university, or from your small town life to university and your freedom. Interesting thing that was talked about by Sadhguru.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been in one of the original texts for the Vedas or Indian studies. I'm not entirely sure. But he basically expressed what the different age ranges were meant for in their idea, or in whatever book the idea of the book was. But from the age of 0 to 12, someone would be treated like a child, and they would just play all the time, and they would basically just explore. They wouldn't be taught anything, and you would spend those first 12 years kind of just enjoying life and being a child.
Mm-hmm.
After that, from the age of 12 to 25 is when you would enter a stage of discipline and training, where you would be learning about all the things that there are to know about the world. So this would be like memorizing and just learning all the knowledge that you can learn about the external world, and having the discipline to kind of act on that knowledge.
Just based off of the transition pattern that I can see here already, can I guess what the next step would be?
Yes. The age range for the next one is 25 to 45.
Okay, so when you're a child, you just be a child, experience life in the world that you live in.
Yes.
When you're 12 to 25, discipline and training, learning to understand the world that you've spent 12 years observing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're 25 to 45, you're learning how to create, develop. What's the word I'm looking for? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Implement your training into a greater something. Yes? Am I close? Am I close?
I love that. Implement your... Yes!
I was just like, there was a word that when you first started explaining it, was just like this big word and neon lights popped up into my fucking brain.
Yeah.
And then the second I started talking, it was just like, click. Where'd you go?
No.
Come back.
It's not closing time. But from 25 to 45, you either split it up. You have to split it up between two things. One was getting married and having kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was more of a spiritual path.
All right. Well, my guesses weren't too bad.
Yeah. It's like at that point, most of the people that would be raising families, like you have to work. So you're going to be contributing economically, or you would abstain from that and just go straight to the spiritual practices.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of interesting thing that goes on from there, the reason why it's 20 years is obviously because you raise a kid for around 20 years. They're good. You set them off on their own.
It does take a while for them little chidrits to grow up.
Yeah. And then once the kids are out, then the parents are supposed to transition to a more spiritual practice between, oh boy. See, this is where it gets a little bit foggy.
Yeah.
But the one interesting thing that I found about the married couples that he recommended that was brought up, is that after you have kids, they would break up or divorce.
Yeah.
Throw some air quotes on that. They would leave each other for 12 years and go onto their own individual spiritual practices. After the end of 12 years, they would come back together and remarry. And they would remarry because, like, in the beginning, it's just like physical attraction. You want to have kids.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's a life contract. Like, we want to pass on our genes and raise some kids.
Yeah. So the first one is more like a physical marriage. There's just the urge for, it's youth. And then after you leave each other for a while, and then you kind of improve yourselves and then come back, it's like more of a melding of energies, souls, whatever word you want to use. But it's like a totally different relationship by the end of that 12 years.
Yeah.
When you guys come back together, and then after you're back together, you can spend the rest of your lives together.
So weird that stage in their life is like after the age of 45. Like, go improve yourself. Or it's like right now I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm on my self-improving journey, starting at age whatever, like 23.
I think we missed 0 to 12. Some people miss 0 to 12 where you just get to be a kid.
Yeah.
And some people definitely miss the discipline part.
I feel like there's, depending on the views of the 0 to 12 age, a lot of that can get lost in a North American lifestyle.
Well, it's because like by 5 you're
yeah,
registering for preschools.
You are already going to schools, granted, but then a lot of that extra time is already, I know in my family's case, like integrating into like sporting and extracurricular activities that consume more of that time and help develop structure, or, you know, just like those early life skills so that you can decide by the time you're 15 what you're going to do with the rest of your life. And I've always found fault in that, where it's just like, yeah, you've been alive 15 years. You don't even know who you are. You don't know who your family is. You don't know what life is. Decide what you want to do with the next forever. Yeah, I think that this would have some advantages, particularly the 0 to 12 thing, where it's just like, yeah.
I think it'd be very interesting not teaching your kids stuff until 12.
Well, I mean,
until 12.
Kids have questions, right? And it's easy enough to answer questions.
Well, they're observant too. If they want to learn something, I don't think you need to teach them.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? Like, you don't have to. Yeah, there's a whole plethora of different ways that could work out for any child between the ages of 0 and 12.
Yeah.
You know, you just let them be, and they're going to learn from experience. They're going to learn from observation. They're going to learn through curiosity, adventure, as opposed to just being like 5 years old and thrown in a classroom already.
Yeah, it would be interesting just because if they learn to, well, if they're not taught, then they have to learn, right? And you're not going to get people to approach it like, hey, let me teach you how to do this. And then they just come to resent the actual teaching rather than seek it themselves whenever they want it.
What my issue was later in high school was the issues with learning, having a mother who was my teacher. And, you know, just the thing that bothered me was like, it turned me off of school was like, okay, I would have like a bad grade. And the teachers would go and tell my mom down the hallway before they'd even let me know I had a bad grade. I'd be in trouble for having a bad grade before I even knew I had a bad grade. And it's just like any gossip around the school. It was like, oh, like Shay wanted to do this. And like somebody said something to somebody. And next thing you know, I'm grounded for a week and I hadn't even done anything because it just like got through the grapevine. So I learned to resent the entire educational setting that I was in, which was just, it just turned abysmal for me. It was very poisonous.
Yeah, that would be kind of shiesty.
It was, I didn't enjoy it a whole lot. Didn't have a great school experience.
Career?
I had to, you know, there's a lot of people like, my mom spoke about a lot of past students, about how they'd come back to her after they graduated, or how she'd run into them, or they had older siblings, younger siblings, blah, 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 or other people, right, who had already graduated, because I hung out with a lot of older people, and they were just like, oh, man, I wish I was still back in school. I got out of high school, and I never once looked back and said, man, I missed that shit, or man, I wish I was back there. I was just like, thank fucking God I am out of there. Thank God I don't have to go back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was definitely different for me compared to a lot of people. Yeah. How did we get on this tangent again?
You were talking about your experience in school, and then that made me think of...
Oh, the years thing.
Yeah, all these years.
One of these days.
Someday, I'm gonna rise up like the wind, you know?
No.
Someday.
You missed yours, or you missed mine, I missed yours.
It's alright. We're the worst. It's like we're both holding baseballs trying to make each other catch, but...
And we're both holding bats and standing at opposite ends of the pitcher's mound. So you throw. No, you throw.
I already threw. I didn't see it.
We're both just waiting. I'm ready.
Yeah. It's going to get violent.
All right, so heading to India, getting your visas.
We wander far in this podcast.
We've kind of been all over. I think this is one of our most offshooty ones.
See, that's what happens. It's like, hey,
You don't make a plan, one podcast, and it's all over the damn place.
your eyebrows look funny, and then we're just tweak your eyebrows the whole time. You go off tangent a lot. Well, let's try and watch for that. Oh, nope.
It's like so writing, and then we're into something like astrophysics in the next 5 sentences.
It's just a relation game, man. Got to keep those loose connections. It's the creative mind, or a type of creative mind.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
I think we both just have ADD.
I don't think it's ADD.
ADHD?
I am just okay with mentioning things that pop up in my head.
Yeah, that's one thing that one thing that gets me all the time. It's just like you have these very clear-cut thoughts, and you're just like, I got to get this out. And you get maybe 2 sentences, especially when you've like been drinking, right? I know I've had this problem with John a lot, where it's like I've got this very clear-cut thought that I want to express, and you get like 2 sentences into it, and then they say something, and then you drift off onto this completely relevant but wholly different tangent on what you were saying, and you're just like, oh yeah, sweet, that went really well. And like the next day, you're just like, shit, I didn't get any of my points across. I didn't say anything that I wanted to say. I know that happened to one of our podcasts. I was just like, oh shit, I mentioned it, and I never got back to it. I was like, I'll have to bring it up next time. Now I can't remember what it is.
Successfully diffused the situation. Now it'll remain a secret forever.
So you're going to India, and I've got to find you a replacement.
You already found one.
Potentially.
There's a chance.
In heck that he might be on board.
Neat.
Got to give him a call tonight.
Do it up.
Well, I was going to do it while we were on the podcast, but then I realized that my phone is indisposed.
Yes, it is.
Yes, so I'll call him when we're done here. See how he's thinking. He had a competition here this weekend. See how he did at that.
I thought he was into MMA. Bodybuilding.
I think that's what it was.
All right.
There was some kind of competition for bodies.
Skateboarding?
I don't think so.
You never know.
I know that he had to shave his legs for it, thanks to reading up on his Instagram. So I'm assuming it's some sort of like body competition, bodybuilding, body beauty.
See whose body could slide the furthest on a slip and slide.
That would be amazing.
He at all types.
No, he's looking good, man. I've been following him on Instagram, and yeah, he's like, he was a buff kid before, but he's absolutely shredded now. Pretty impressive. Pretty proud of him. When he puts his mind to something.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's been checking out some auditions again. So yeah, I don't know. It'd just be nice to have him involved in some projects like this, if not the podcast, then some other stuff. He's a very artistically talented dude. And we'll see how that all goes, and we'll get back to the audience with a name if they haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, they won't. Not for a while.
No chance. So, and then I was talking to John a little bit too about getting him in for some episodes. Just have to keep it under control.
That's an interesting statement to make about John.
Well, I just know the first time that I said something podcast, he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll just get like a 24-pack," and I was just like, "No, that's not the kind of podcast we're going for."
John, you're half drinking all the beers. What? No, those are yours.
And I'm fine having a podcast where we cut a few cans and get a little loose, but that's not an all the time thing.
Why not?
I don't feel like I have to explain that.
Nothing gets done. It's all tangents.
Well, I just like to try and keep it as professional as possible. Granted, we're not super professional at the moment, but we'd be a lot less professional if we were wasted out of our gourds right now.
No way.
Are you wasted?
No.
Are you on something right now?
Yes. I'm on many things right now.
Moonlight. Copper pot water.
Constantly. I bathe in the moonlight. It's when my magic's the strongest.
You went magic. I was going to go werewolf.
Either or. Magical werewolf. Shooting fireballs and...
I was werewolf cleric. I look intimidating, but I just heal people.
See, this is the problem. You say cleric, and then I think of my stupid like D&D campaign that I went on, and I'm just thinking like, you know what irked me about being a cleric? That's how it happens.
You just trail around behind people.
Nah, man. You get to choose, basically, I think I've already talked to you about this, but you basically get to choose gods to devote yourself to, and they needed a healer, and they're like, hey, you get to pick the other one, and I was like, sweet, and he's like, no, you should choose this one, and I was like, okay. So I was a healer that could shoot fireballs whenever I wasn't too busy healing people, and it sucked.
It was
like,
meh.
people weren't dying, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna run in and hit people with my mace then, because I'm not doing anything. Then we just had there are so many interesting gods.
Yeah.
Like the one that I probably would have went for was knowledge and madness.
Yeah.
Touching people makes them crazy, and touching people allows you to understand everything about them. Which I thought was freaking awesome.
That'd be pretty interesting powers.
That'd be amazing. I could shake hands with somebody and just understand their character and know all their secrets.
Learn everything about them and drive them nuts at the same time.
Yeah, that's amazing. I could just it's crowd control. Because I could just make everybody crazy.
Why would you need to know everything if you're making them lose their minds? It's like, you're no longer an issue for me, but if for some reason you see an amazing shrink and fix that brain of yours, I know all your weaknesses.
Hey, man, you just run into an enemy, you just like punch them in the face, and you're like, hey, I understand what the problem is, and then you try and talk them down. And you're like, hey, you're not getting talked down, I'm just going to make you go batshit crazy. Oh my god, the nightmares are real. I thought it would have been pretty damn wicked.
Good old D&D talk. This will hit home for a lot of our listeners.
I'm sure.
All right, so speaking of our listeners, let's talk about our fan base, Daniel.
Back to square one we are.
Well, my little brother said that he spent all day today listening to our podcasts, and he enjoyed them.
Uh-oh.
And then he had another friend that he got started watching them as well.
Oh, God.
So where's your promoting?
It's like in the back of my closet somewhere. I think I left it there.
You pull it out as a box that says Choice by Choice Podcast Promotions.
It's just a shoebox, and I open it up, and it's got some like legit pamphlets that I could be handing out. It's like nah, yeah. Not yet.
I was excited enough to make all these business cards and pamphlets, but I'm just not ready.
Yeah, I just start a bonfire in my room, throw them in there.
Daniel, every smoke alarm in the house is going off.
It's a pizza.
Yeah, Evan's cooking again.
Yeah, every single time.
I thought I was going to set it off today. Dropped a pineapple right in the bottom of the oven. Not a single alarm.
Sacrifice to the oven. Drop a piece of cheese. You're like, yep, that's not coming back.
Got to get that extra strength oven cleaner next time.
Yep. So it's going to be a bit of a task. You cannot see through the front glass pane.
There's no light on the inside anyways, so it's not like it makes a difference.
You can shine a light in. Except you can't.
Yeah, that's not a pain in the ass. Just, I want to check on my pizza. Somebody find me a flashlight.
Do you have a phone? There's a flashlight on there. Actually, very...
Touché.
Yeah.
From Daniel.
One shay.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
Weak.
I'm writing it down. Touché. One shay.
But that's it. That's...
I know that's not how you spell it.
Red shay, blue shay. Is that not?
One shay, two shay, red shay, blue shay?
Yeah, one fish, two fish.
It's Dr.
Fish.
Seuss?
Yep.
Yes.
Blue fish.
Taylor wrote a paper with a very similar title back in the day for one of Pat Hankey's classes, grade 10. We had to write a paper. I can't remember why, like what the topics were, or if we had to pick our own, or if it was something about the school.
Yeah.
But Taylor's paper was on 1-ply toilet paper. And he called it 1-ply, 2-ply, red ply, blue ply. And it was all about the frustration of having 1-ply toilet paper. And it was like, I think, if I remember correctly, it was like a 2 or 3 page long like essay that we had to write. And yeah, I was just like, man, that was genius. Because I always picked like regular old stuff that I knew about. It's just like, oh, I got to write an essay. I'll write it about guitars, or I'll write it about music, or I'll write it about writing, or I'll write it about these social anxieties that I have.
Yeah. Those would be all right topics.
I wrote about global warming at some point in high school. I actually found those essays the other day. I was cleaning out my file box, and I found all of my high school essays that were worth a damn. Some of them were a little self-deprecating. I was a little worried. I was just like, man,
I should be worried about this kid.
I was an angsty boy. But yeah, I found the ones about global warming, and they were not half bad. I read at least halfway through 1 or 2 of them, because I wrote more than one. Or I wrote one and then I like expanded on it later on in like a later year and just wrote a more comprehensive essay. But good stuff, all sparked by Al Gore in that Inconvenient Truth movie.
Then you wrote another one about your man crush on Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, always.
And the feelings it made you feel.
That's an ongoing
Never
essay.
again.
That is an ongoing essay. I'll read it. The day I'd meet him and touch him, I'll never wash my hands again.
Just keep it down.
Oh, man. I love Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, Leo!
It's good stuff. So our fan base, Daniel.
Yes.
You have to spread the word a little bit before you leave, because we're going to try and record a handful more of these with you in the next couple weeks.
It's more like the next couple days.
When are you leaving?
July 1st.
Yeah.
I'll be traveling back and forth between here and Lloyd. A couple times.
Yeah.
Here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
My calendar's filling up.
So we can do early morning, late
Whenever.
night. I just want to carry on our legacy for a little while longer. I don't want to stop at 8 episodes.
Gotta at least go to 12.
I was thinking at least
like some popular enemies.
At least 10. But yeah, if we can get upwards of 10, then that'd be glorious. Because then I can go, like if we get 12, then I'll be able to post episodes with you for a full month after you're gone.
It'll be like you're not.
Well, I'm gonna be only slightly depressed, but yes, it'll be like you're still here.
It'll be odd yet relieving to have the house be empty.
Well, I don't know if it'll be empty. Got to get a few new renters in here. I got to talk to Evan about. He was here today. I forgot to mention that I was going to start showing the rooms.
He won't mind.
I'm sure he won't. He was here to just get some receipts today. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll be cramming people in to pay the extra fees.
I'm sorry, I'm quite distracted by the
Is that rain?
Orangish sunset.
Yeah, I've been staring at the sunset here for the last little while. I got all pink where I'm sitting.
It looks real nice. And yes, it is raining.
It is
for sure.
It? Oh yeah, okay, I see it now. I think. Usually it hits the window, like it comes straight from the north or from like the northwest.
Yeah.
Looks like it's coming straight down though. Actually, a little bit from
good amount of rain
from the east. Good old rain. Now, if we see flashes of lightning, we'll have to cut this short so we don't power surge and fry all my new gear. But yes, so that was a lackadaisical little moment right there.
Yep.
Edit point. Okay, well, I didn't have anything else to talk about here, fan base. Talk to some people before you leave.
Yeah.
Spread the word. Keep watching episodes over in...
Yeah, go to my coworkers. I was told to spread the word. It's bird.
Did you say bird? Yes.
Bird is the word.
Bird is the word. I do not get that reference.
Hey, come on. Give them a chance. I'm sure they know.
Yeah, I guess you never know.
No, I probably actually agree with your initial assessment. They probably will not know.
Just trying to make me feel racist, huh?
Come on, man. They're cultured. We'll throw some air quotes on that.
Yeah, their own culture.
Yeah. Lucky.
You have like access to iTunes and shit over there? Like your devices?
There's an internet room. I'm not going to download stuff. I probably won't be downloading much.
No, I was just thinking because I forgot to spend some time this weekend setting up the website. Once I have the proper URLs up on iTunes, but you don't listen to them anyways, so. Not even if it's somebody new. A new Daniel.
Sadness.
A new taller, buffer Daniel.
Will be a taller buffer. Just promise you'll give him a chance.
I suppose.
It'll all go well.
What the heck, eh? Yeah, so...
No one will ever catch on.
Not if you keep giving it away.
Give it away now. Chili peppers. What?
Nope, none familiar. Can't even lie. Can't even keep a straight face. So... Get some new buddies. Some new buddies in here.
I don't like you anymore.
We'll just keep on carrying on. We'll keep on keeping on.
Agreed. And when I come back, there will be dozens of episodes. Dozens.
Yeah, 4. Well, if I get one out a week, 4 per month. Go for 5 months. So 20 episodes.
It's like 30 episodes.
I think my math was just a little better than yours there.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't have a childhood.
Yeah, but so then you'll be going back to Lloyd when you're back.
Yep. Lloyd are here. Haven't chosen yet.
Oh, last I'd heard you just said Lloyd.
Initially. If I need to begin making money immediately, then yeah, Lloyd's probably a good idea. If I'm not too pinched, then Edmonton wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Bigger.
I plan on bouncing back and forth regardless.
Well, you know that if there's availability here, you're always welcome.
Nice.
You've been the best renter I've ever had.
Standards are high now.
Solid friend, all that jazz, so you got a leg up on the competition.
Yes. Just like, get out.
But yeah, I imagine because you're going to be starting the business for yourself like we talked in the previous podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I imagine you'd find
more clientele here.
Yeah, that's my initial thought anyways.
Also very saturated. There's lots of yoga teachers here.
The same kind of yoga that you're doing?
There's one other teacher that does the yoga that I will be doing.
Yeah, like real old world yoga.
Yeah.
What I've been calling it anyways.
Classical hatha yoga.
Classical hatha.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind because there's a bunch of volunteers that coordinate in like South Edmonton.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind being up here because they meet once a month and volunteer for events. So I'd be able to volunteer for events and go meet them every month.
I'll just tell the next renter that I have in your room that they can only stay for 5 months.
Then you have to get out.
This is a 5-month contract. You better find another fucking place after 5 months because Daniel's coming back.
Yeah. Don't touch anything.
Needs somebody to watch anime with.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be you.
Interesting note. Next time, if I do come back and we do have an anime night, a bunch of my coworkers are like, I wish we had anime night. So we might have a party every week.
I'll host it up.
Let's do it.
Every Saturday when the new anime drops.
Yeah. Everyone's like, I've been waiting since Tuesday to watch my anime, but anime night's Saturday.
Can't watch it alone. What would I be then?
I have a coworker
Be a
who.
weeb.
Oh man, I have a coworker who's been watching Attack on Titan, and
Yeah.
she's always an episode behind.
Is she cute?
I dare
Oh.
not comment. She has a boyfriend.
So
I guess I could say.
it's
Yeah,
harsh.
sure.
It's harsher to say.
She's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to put you in that position there.
No, outward displays of emotion. No, it could be misinterpreted. I am neutral on this topic.
Who cares? You're gone in 2 weeks anyways.
It's true, it's true.
What's her boyfriend gonna do? Hunt you down in India?
Maybe.
Oh shit.
The flights are expensive. If you need to find me, you should probably
How
use...
much are you willing to pay for your revenge?
Yeah. I'll be back in December.
Just hold on to that grudge.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
But she's always one episode behind. It's just like, it came out on Saturday. What are you doing with your life? To
That's
which
awesome.
I could probably flip that question back on myself. Just like waiting for the animes to come out.
No. Well, that's short-term entertainment.
Yeah.
The question, what are you doing with your life, gets thrown around a little too casually, I think.
Yeah.
Because I feel like compared to a lot of people, especially what you're about to the mission you're about to embark on, or the quest, you got your shit together.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
A lot of my East Indian coworkers are very excited.
I'm excited for you. Definitely. It's going to be quite the adventure. I'm a little jelly, but at the same time, I'm kind of starting up all my own shit here. Got the company name.
Oh, I thought you were going to
Me?
cough and say it at the same time for a second.
Well,
Just
it's
like name drop it by accident.
I was going to burp and then announce it. So thank you for everybody's votes. I got votes from friends and family, all the peeps, coworkers,
All the ladies at 7-Eleven.
all the ladies. No, I don't associate with them. They've shortchanged me too many times. But I think there was six possible choices, 5 or 6 possible choices, and we whittled it down to Urban Grim Productions. So urban, like Keith Urban. Grim,
Like turban without a T.
yes. Grimm as in Brothers Grimm with 2 M's, and Productions, and starting to build that site. So nobody steal it. I guess I've already got it.
Did you register the domain?
It saved it for me for the moment for my 14-day
Some
free
jag.
trial.
Some jag. That one viewer.
I'm gonna
It's
have
like,
to.
I'm going to mess with his day.
I'm gonna have to post this after I make sure to pay for my year's subscription on the site.
Oh, man. You never know. Somebody
yeah.
might be listening.
Urban Grim Productions. It wasn't the one that my mom was the biggest fan of, which was a big placeholder there for a while, but so many people voted for Urban Grim that I didn't really have a choice. I was like, all right, this one is just by far the most popular. And even when people were getting back to me after I had decided, they were like, oh yeah, Urban Grim. I was just like, I know. I already decided.
It's the edgiest one, man.
I don't know. I don't know about edgiest, but
It's like the edgelord of edginess.
yeah, most of the ideas I was coming up with were kind of situationally originated, like anything with the word capital in it, because we're in Alberta's capital city. And Grim was one of my biggest things. It was one of the biggest inspirations for a couple of my other names, my solo artist name, and other stuff like that. You know, the Grimms have that book, Choice by Choice podcast, you know. So yeah, started that site, got the name, get everything up and rolling, get the music rolling. I just need one more bloody cable, just super expensive.
Yeah.
Once I get paid out for my holiday pay at my previous job, I should be able to afford that no problemo.
Nice.
And, wow, such an itchy nose. This happened last time. I think there's something in my room I'm allergic to. Life, huh?
I don't get to experience life like you do.
Nope. No, you do not. For one, life's a lot thinner for you.
Sorry.
Life's a lot thinner for you.
This is a little bit.
You don't know what it's like, Daniel, to get wedged places.
Kind of do.
In doorways.
And not doorways, no.
That'd be the worst.
That would be... you'd probably be pretty bad place.
Have to make some serious life choices at that point.
Yeah. I have to seriously think about it. But it's the little things that you change. I'm sure you'd probably be very surprised if you change some small stuff and see some moderate to large results.
Yeah, well, I've started the diet stuff. I know my diet's improved one whole heck of a heap since you moved in. Tried out different stuff. Physical activity is something that I'm more and more motivated to get into now that I'm in a better mindset as far as the work goes. And when you're just like stressed and drained and blah blah blah, sure don't want to go and work more.
Mental strain sucks.
Yeah, so I know that was one of the things here, like just even yesterday and today, having pretty much got the job Friday, it was just like, man, I want to get up and move more because I'm not immediately now thinking about I have to go back to work on Monday. Hey, I got to go back to work tomorrow. I haven't thought about it once yet today until just now when I brought it up. And that is a good feeling. So it'll be easier. Get a little more motivated, get a little less anxiety and stress, get a little more physically healthy, mentally healthy, start plowing through some more of those vegetables and make some more smoothies.
They go bad so quick.
Right? Well, and those buns too. I went to go make sandwiches today. I pulled out a bun. I was like, oh, that's a mold spot. It's like, I've only had these like a week. Pulled out another one. I was like, a couple mold spots on that one too. Checked out all the buns. I was just like, you dirty little bastards. It's like every single one of you. The bag was sealed. You were in a nice shadowy corner of the kitchen. Like 15 buns gone bad.
So what happens to it? It's not gone bad. It hasn't gone bad.
It's just
someone else is eating them.
It's transitioned into a form of nutrients for another species.
Yeah. Why are you mad, bro?
Yes. Oh, I'm not mad. I didn't pay for them. I got those for free. So
it's true.
They can definitely go feed another section of existence. What time are we at?
It is like,
I guess with no starting point.
15 after.
What's that been, about 45?
No.
About a 9?
It's been a while.
Been about a 9.5?
I feel like it's...
About a 12?
No, I feel like it's... Have you been recording?
It's been about a 6...
I'm going to go check the number right now.
6.3.
Ow.
It's about a quarter past.
Oh, dude, an hour and a half.
Oh, shit, really?
Yes. It has felt like...
I didn't think it was that long.
It was... Well, we were riffing away for like 10 minutes, maybe. Like, yeah, we've been going for a bit.
There was a couple of points in there that we kind of got off topic. All right, well...
riff, raff.
You're a riff-raff and son of a gun, you.
Touch the Buddha.
Yeah, I guess I haven't.
Taste the rainbow.
Get some good luck off this Buddha. Good luck. Got all the good juju now. Ah! The juju monster. Oh, you ruined it. All right, well, I think that'll do it here for us today. We're going to do a double whammy on Tuesday.
Both whammies. No one likes double whammies.
We're going to do 2 singular whammies back to back.
Bop, bop. Just enough space between them so they can't be considered together.
What we'll have to do is we'll film the one, and then I'll have to dump the footage, and we'll change clothes. And then
I won't change clothes.
I know you won't. You're probably wearing the same clothes in most of our podcasts.
Dude, look.
Oh, he's wearing actual pants today.
Pajama pants.
Are they pajama pants?
Yeah, I brought them from home. Like, I am sick of these shorts.
It's so weird you not being in shorts. I didn't even notice that.
Right? See, you don't appreciate the little things.
I was too busy looking at your face.
Finally covers his damn legs.
You knee slut. All those poor...
That was an odd day.
All those poor Indian people forced to look at your knobbly knees.
Well, I was worried.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Choice by Choice Podcast. You can check us out on Twitter. I'm at _Mr. Wolf, no period. The same on Instagram. I post about all of our episodes and stuff there. Getting a few likes, getting a few more likes on our posts, and I think some of the posts on my Instagram about our podcast were up about 50.
Nice.
So that's something.
Doing good work, Shay.
Doing the people's work.
You're doing work.
Doing the excess work that you're not.
Yeah. I don't carry anything.
At least, yeah, you don't do the filming, you don't do the recording, you don't do the editing, you don't do the promoting.
I'm here.
You're basically just here for me to bounce ideas off of. Thanks for contributing.
Yeah, I'm just the guest. It's all right, man. When you make the mills, I won't ask for my portion.
Yeah, if there was ad revenue on these videos, you'd get your portion. I'm fair, at least.
I wouldn't care. Just you getting off the ground is a pretty solid start.
Is that a fat joke?
It could be.
All right, where can people find you, Daniel?
I am at... Gonna bleep that out.
That's a big wave for the edit point there, so I don't miss that. Jesus.
I'm at Dan442805994 on Twitter Dizzle.
Okay.
Twiz Dizzy.
Yeah.
You can find my MySpace.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it's cool again.
We'll bleep that out too. All right, well, it's been fun. We're getting real here. Things are getting closer to the end. My treasy.
For sheezy. It rhymes with breezy again. Easy.
Lingueezy.
Linguini.
Mom's spaghetti.
So calm.
So calm spaghetti. Spaghetti already.
Check you later.
Ciao.